my birthday. And the first thing I'm going to say to you guys, congratulations, because you made it. And I want you to say this to yourself. Say, I made it. Have you thought about where you were before you were born? Have you? Or have you also thought about what you should be doing? Am I doing what I should be doing after birth? Was this what I was born for? And very curious mind, very brilliant minds have done this. And that's why I'm taking us on a journey. And you know what I need from you today? I need you to wear your intelligence cap. Try and follow me intelligently as we dissect this topic. Try and be creative with me. Avoid any form of distraction. And let's go on together. It's an hour or minutes or time that you dedicate that can change the rest of your time on earth. So avoid any other thing and let's go on this journey of my birthday. Where were you before you were born, and why were you born? You know, many believe that we were in heaven before birth. You know, many believe that. You know, yes, where were you? What was I? You know, I've always had this conversation in my mind. I'm sure many of you have done that. And you have consoled yourself. You say, I was in heaven before I was born. But you know, with that answer, we would need some spiritual encounter and mind to unveil that spiritual process. You know, just to be able to admit on that, okay, where was I in heaven? Was I sitting on the cloud? Was I next to God? Was I, you know, you need to, it takes spiritual grace to get there and be able to dissect that. So why not we begin to take it from where we can apply our physical reasoning and back it with facts, data, and science. Shall we do that? Where we can, you know, we can discuss or use processes that you can reason with. You know, many also believe that life began or begins when your consciousness developed. Yes, that when you are self-aware, that's when you were born. When you begin to realize or know yourself or know your name or some believe that. But many deep thinkers like me and you want to go beyond that. And since we can't go to heaven to check where we were there before we were born, let's begin to analyze the fact. So let's do this together. My wise friend once said to me, I was discussing this with my team. He said there are 3 types of knowledge. 3 types. Number 1, what you know you know. Number 2, what you know you don't know. And number 3, what you don't know you don't know. Now, what do you know you know? that one, let me take it that one and explain that one to you. It's easy. Like things that you were born with, you just end up knowing it. You don't know how you know it, but you just know how you know. For example, who told you that was the nipples on the breast? Who showed you the nipple on your mother's breast? You know, or how? Have you not figured out how a baby just comes out and automatically the baby knows that she has to latch on? Who gave her that process that it's your mouth and then you must suck? Who taught the baby how to suck? Who taught you that you can fight with your teeth as a child? Think about it. Who taught you? Who taught a child to defend themselves with their teeth? Go check. What you know, you know. You just end up knowing these things. That you could open your eyes and see, that your nose can smell, that your ear can hear. You just ended up knowing these things. Now, the second form of knowledge. What you know you don't know. I'm taking us on a journey before I get into that topic so you can understand where we are going, the realm which we are going into. You see, what you know you don't know, these are the things that we learn from school. That's why we go to school. Universities, even business colleges, business conferences. Now, remember I said follow me with intelligence here. What you don't know, you went to school to know it because you know you don't know it. You wanted to know how to read and write. So you know you don't know how to read and write. Are you following me? You wanted to learn how to fly a plane. So you know you don't know how to fly a plane. So you went to a pilot school. What you know you don't know? You know you don't know how to do graphic design, web design. So you went to a graphic design school, a web design school. So there's a form of knowledge first that admits that you don't know this thing. I don't know how to drive. Are you following? So I called a driving school, and I decided to know. So something showed you that you don't know this. So this is the most common form of knowledge. It's available to everyone. Because as you are growing, you just, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do this. Then you now pay for that knowledge to learn those things. Now, the biggest form of knowledge, the most powerful form of knowledge, is what you don't know, you don't even know. I hope you get this. This is the biggest knowledge of all, because it takes grace for you to find it, because you never knew that you never knew in the first place, and you might have died not knowing. I hope you get what I'm saying. It's something you didn't even know existed. It's something you never even knew that was there. So it takes grace for you to even encounter that knowledge. And like my white friend was speaking to me, he said, I've listened to many audios on the Entrepreneurial Assembly, and I realized that most of the things you teach about are revelations. There are things that we didn't even go there. Our mind did not go there. And that's what we're doing today. It's where we are going to, of where were we before we were born. Some of us might just die and leave this world without even going that far in thinking. And these are not things that you will ever get in any form of school or university. This form of wisdom and knowledge are things you will never hear from any syllabus, because it only comes by revelation. And we are going to review some things right now. Entrepreneurs from all over the world, it's a competitive world. So much competitions. We also for clients, we also for partners, we also for attentions, for relationships. And in all this also, I hear words like, I can't take it anymore. I can't go on anymore. It's getting too hard for me. It's so difficult. I will begin to use words of affirmation. I hear words like, in this world, I go make up. I go make up for this world. It makes me laugh. Because you don't even know that you have already made it. You don't know. You made it here. If no one has told you, let me tell you that. Getting to where you are alive. And that's where it pains me when somebody goes as far as ending it all and committing suicide. And that's why I say it takes grace for you to find knowledge like this, because only if they heard what we are discussing here today, maybe that will have stopped that rope from going on that neck, or stopped that guy or that lady from pulling the trigger. If only they understood that they have already made it. So all this, I will make it here on earth. Open your ears, your mind, most importantly, and follow me on this journey. You have made it already. You made it. You made it here on earth. Do you know how many people you raised with to even get here, to even be you, to even be born? Now, you might not understand this. It got to an extent when I was thinking about this. I was now realizing that, do you mean if it was not me as a sperm cell that made it? Maybe, this is my own thought. If it was another sperm cell from my father that came through, it wouldn't have been me. Have you thought about that? That making it on earth, being born itself, was one of the biggest wars you fought. Guys, you were raised with over 1 billion cells. 1 billion cells. It takes about 400 to 1.400 billion cells in sperm cells that comes out. And you, I'm talking to you, they are listening to me, that you think you've not made it, was the one that got there first. You, the same you that underestimates yourself, that think that I'm good for nothing, what am I capable of doing? If only you understand your capabilities, that was the one that made it, that got there. And that's why I'm saying to you, congratulations, I made it. So can you say this time, I made it? You made it. You might not understand what you went through, but let me first share this. You and many others, because even a low sperm count will still produce 15 million eggs on average. So you and millions of others, see them as you now, was racing. And this time, you were not even racing with an identity. You were not racing completed. You were not racing formed. You needed to race to go and get your other parts, to complete a part of yourself. Some of you are complete already. You have your brain, you have your mind, you have a community around you, you have a system around you, and you still doubt yourself. But I'm telling you about a part of yourself when nothing was there. And it was an half of your foundation. Not even your foundation. Just an half of your foundation was the one that was given that mission to race with millions of others. Without enough strength, without enough IQ, with nothing else, half of you. I wish there was a medical doctor right here with me to help you break this down so you can begin to understand what that you thought that nothing is happening in your life has already made, even by making life itself. You raised without an identity, no ID, no formation, and you had to go on a journey to find an egg to complete your formation. Some of you, your fathers are so active that you raised with like 5 billions of other people. Let's put it that way so that it begins to sink in. And you, looking at me, made it. You got there first. Now, getting there is even something else, because remember, you went without form, no connection, no one to help you. Like you see yourself today, I'm disabled, I'm disadvantaged, I've got no one around me, no one will pull me up, no one in my circle. You then was also without those things. Before you start making excuses for where you are now and excuses of why you can't get there, you better start listening to this. You, without nothing, no formation, no structure. And if God was even supposed to help us, at least it should have given us the egg, so at least we can be a complete embryo on that journey. No. He left you naked without an identity, without any form of strength to race against 1 billion others. You were racing without form, without identity, to journey through tubes and tunnels, and you were gonna meet an egg. Now, listen to this. You are not just going to meet that egg and continue that journey. You have to penetrate the outer layer of that egg. So you, without form, got there first, met with another egg that was supposed to complete that journey with you. Your egg, your ID, your identity, your strength, your other part of you that completes you. And you are not just meeting it like that. You are also given the task to tear apart the outer layer and then penetrate it. Can you imagine that turmoil in your most vulnerable state of existence? You made it, and you still doubt yourself. The people you are competing with right now, I don't even think they are up to 1 billion. I don't even think they are up to 1 million. And you still doubt that you can win this race? Now, you eventually got to that layer, merged with that egg and created a zygote, right? It didn't stop there. Now, the embryo it creates its own journey itself, again, another journey. And you have to implant yourself. You have to find room in the womb to implant yourself, find a space where you can then begin to grow. Because if you implant yourself in the wrong space, you will die, or you might die. You, by your own self, nobody was there. No mentor was there. No brother, no uncle, no sponsor was there. No funder was there. You still found that ring in that womb to creatively plant yourself in a place where you could get oxygen and enough food to survive. You did it by yourself. Now, the rest of the billions of other cells that followed you that could not make it. Wasted. Only you got that one egg, just one, implanted yourself, merged, carried it again on another journey. Through other things, you were surviving many things, and you created by yourself a space in that womb to plant yourself. Guys, you were armed with a singular purpose to find and fertilize an egg. With no weapon, no instruments, but you did all this journey by yourself. You went on this incredible voyage by yourself, and you completed this miraculous journey. And even when you became an embryo, you might think that all this was miracle or was your mom's doing. But I tell you, your mom was not in there with you. And to shock you, a lot of our mothers were going through a lot during that time. Some of us even survived abortions. Multiple abortions. So not only did you run through many other billions of warriors, they were now trying to even kill you. Consume so many things to kill you. And you still latched in and held tight in that wound. Now you made this journey, nurtured that embryo till it became a fully formed child. She was pushing, but you were the one pulling through that journey. She gave you the head of force, but you were the one, as weak as you are, as flexible as those bones are, as tender as it is, that was pulling through that space. And you came out. A competition of over 1 billion other person. And you still doubt yourself? And you still doubt yourself? Who brought that doubt in you? Where did it come from? The circumstances of life? I can tell you for a fact, it was not up to the circumstances that you went through during your conceiving period. The challenges of life, it was not up to the challenges you went through when you were doing this race. Or is it competitors and haters? They are not the ones, they are not up to the ones you competed with and that you overcame. Do you know it is possible, like I thought with my extreme way of thinking, that I wouldn't have been me? The moment you start thinking that, you will start appreciating the work you've done, my dear. You start appreciating all you did to become you. Because it was a slim chance it wouldn't have been you. And maybe that cell that must have latched on would have been more grateful than you. So you better wake up today. And imagine the millions of others that raced with you. Imagine how they went down in the drain, achieving nothing. And at least can you make them feel proud wherever they may be right now, that at least the one that made it among us appreciates the fact that he or she made it. Because no challenge in this world, I tell you today, no challenge is up to what you've been through and you've overcome. Why do you need these facts? Because what were you before you were born is what you are should be after you were born, a warrior. You fought and you won before. What's stopping you from fighting and winning now? You survived before, you will survive after. What happened during birth is still the same thing that is happening after birth. Fight that battle with everything that you have got, because you fought even when you had nothing and you won. The moment you realize the potential you have, but if that guy said this is a revelation, do you know how many people miss not hearing this today? In this world that is not hearing what you've just heard today? That just For you to be in this world, forget about the country. People are still lame-minded, thinking I'm in a funny country. My country is not going well. My economy is not going well. You are on earth. Irrespective of where you are, for the fact that you made it to earth, you have made it in life. You have made it in life. What you don't know, you don't know. Now that you know, let the knowledge of what you have known set you free. The fact that you know that you've made it, let your mentality change, and you see how things begin to change for you. You have made it. What is it? Never, if I hear you say that again, I will make it in life. Make what? You have made it in life. You have made it, because that knowledge alone is what you need. It will change the way you see things, and you understand that you have the potential for success already. So why won't you make the challenges at work? Why won't you make the challenges in your marriage? Why won't you make the challenges in your relationship? Why won't you make the challenges in your career? Why won't you make the challenges in your health? Don't you remember what you've made before? Let this remembrance guide you to know that this is what you should be after you are born, a warrior. You have faced it day, and what you faced day is more than what you are facing now. Please go get a scientist, a doctor, a gynecologist to break down the process of you coming to existence. Then you will value who you are. You swam against the current then. Entrepreneurs, swim against the currents. Whatever challenges, swim against it. And find your egg. Find that vision, that innovation, that idea. Find that egg. Penetrate its outer layer. Tear it apart. Penetrate it. Latch on it like you did many years ago in that womb. Latch on that egg. Travel with it. Carry it along like you carried it in that womb. Pass through different part of tubes and funnels and circumstances of life. Carry that vision, that idea, that family, carry it along. Then find the uterus. Find a safe space in the womb. A safe community. Safe relationships. Safe gatherings like what we're doing here. Safe friends. Right people. And patch that wisdom, that innovation, that idea. Patch it with them. So that you can give birth to your success. From today, I want you to know that your birthday is no longer a day that you mark your age, but a day of victory. You won the day you were born. My name is Summy Smart Francis, and I am nothing without God. Thank you so much for listening to me.